Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 587 based on novel. So let's start. Lu Wen Ran watched with his own eyes as the countless black threads swirled around Wang Lin's body. The aura in Wang Lin's body became more powerful at a terrifying rate. This caused sweat to appear on his forehead, his heart to tremble, an indescribable fear to appear in his eyes. There was even more a maddening sense of jealousy. All of this should have belonged to him. This aura should have belonged to him. All of this should have belonged to him, Lu Wen Ran. A thunderous rumble echoed. Wang Lin, who was surrounded by countless black threads, pressed his hand against the gear. Crack suddenly appeared on the gear and it shattered into countless pieces. Wang Lin's body seemed to move. As the countless threads moved, they quickly wove into a suit of black armor. This armor covered Wang Lin's whole body, including his neck and face, leaving only his closed eyes and his white hair. A giant heavenly bull shadow appeared behind Wang Lin. This bull contained a heaven-defying aura. The bull's eyes were also closed. Wang Lin's cultivation level increased at a crazed speed. He was borrowing the power of the soul armor, and although it was only temporary, it would give Wang Lin unimaginable benefits. He directly reached the early stage of arcane void while ignoring that fact that he was still missing an essence. After less than one breath at the early stage of arcane void, his cultivation climbed to the mid-stage of arcane void. Immediately after, at an even faster speed, his aura reached the late stage of arcane void, making his hair flutter without any wind. His cultivation level was still increasing, and all of this happened in a flash. Not only was Lu Wen Ran stunned, but Yang Lu, Shudongda, and the three early-stage void turbulent cultivators who were not helping either side were all shocked. There was no need to mention the more than 1,000 cultivators below. They all stared dumbfoundedly at Wang Lin while witnessing the miracle of someone who had obtained the soul armor. I can't let him continue. Lu Wen Ran felt fear. His eyes turned red and he roared like crazy. He rushed forward and appeared before Wang Lin. His single arm formed seals as he erupted his full cultivation to bombard Wang Lin. Thunderous rumbles echoed and the light from the spells were blinding. However, none of the spells could affect Wang Lin. Wang Lin still had his eyes closed and was allowing Lu Wen Ran to use various spells. Just the armor was enough to make Wang Lin invincible. Even if Lu Wen Ran blew himself up, he wouldn't be able to hurt Wang Lin at all. The longer this went on, the more jealous Lu Wen Ran became. He continued to roar and bombard with spells, but the result was still the same. It's mine. Not yours. Wang Lin, this soul armor is mine. You stole my soul armor, you will die a terrible death. I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you. Lu Wen Ran didn't even realize that he had been taken over by his inner demons. This kind of thing should not happen, given his cultivation level, but it was all because his expectations were too high and he had seen all disappear before his eyes. Everything he had done to prepare for this had been done for someone else. Such a blow was something he could not accept, and with how sudden it happened, he refused to accept it. Wang Lin's appearance was the culprit of all of this, and his madness was all because of Wang Lin. But this was the result everyone else saw from the outside. Only Wang Lin knew that in Lu Wen Ran's mind, there was the figure of a woman in white weeping. Since Wang Lin was going to act, he was going to do his best to calculate all the results. The multi-layered illusion had been quietly planted without Lu Wen Ran noticing. As Lu Wen Ran attacked like crazy, Wang Lin's aura climbed once more. He directly stepped into peak arcane void and then entered arcane turbulent. This change was like a heavy invisible blow that landed on Lu Wen Ran's mind and almost made him cough out a mouthful of blood. His eyes became bloodshot and began attacking like crazy. I was at the Pill C and you were also at the Pill C. Why was I arranged to escape but you remained to explode the Pill C to obtain great merits? If it was me, I could have done it as well. I'm at the third meridian and you are here as well. My cultivation level is higher than yours and I have seniority. This soul armor is mine, what qualifications do you have to steal from me? Wang Lin's eyes were closed and he still hadn't opened them. His aura after entering Arcane Turbulent increased once more. The first Arcane Turbulent, second, third, fourth, eighth, ninth. No Arcane Turbulence arrived at all. It was extremely safe. Wang Lin's aura changed 9 times and increased 9 times. He directly entered the Void Turbulent stage from Arcane Turbulent. Early stage Void Turbulent. The moment Wang Lin reached the early stage of Void Turbulent, he suddenly opened his eyes. The heavenly bull shadow behind him also opened its eyes, revealing a ferocious and heaven-defying gaze. Roar! The heavenly bull shadow raised its head and let out a roar that spread through the underground palace, the earth, the entire extreme sky prairie, and across the continent. On the surface, the 6 mid-stage Void Turbulent cultivators heard this roar and their expressions changed greatly. The roar of the heavenly bull. This must be the roar of the heavenly bull. Only the heavenly bull can make my heart tremble with a roar. I have heard a similar sound before. It was the roar of the green devil. This must be the heavenly bull. The 6 of them felt something bad in their hearts. If they were like this, there was no need to talk about the nearly 2,000 green devil continent cultivators. Their bodies trembled and fear appeared in their eyes. That roar had almost caused their origin souls to collapse. In the underground palace, Wang Lin's eyes were red. This red was not caused by madness but by the soul armor. This came from the heavenly bull's heaven-defying resentment. You going to kill me? Wang Lin's red eyes showed no emotion and was extremely cold as he looked at Lu Wen Ran, who had stopped bombarding and retreated with a pale face. You going to kill me? Wang Lin murmured as if his memories had returned. He raised his right hand and waved. With this wave, the world rumbled and Wang Lin's right hand turned into a heavenly bull that charged toward Lu Wen Ran. With a bang, Lu Wen Ran's body was knocked back like a kite with a broken string. Wang Lin's eyes were filled with killing intent as he charged forward with the black armor that only revealed his eyes. With one step, he appeared before Lu Wen Ran. He didn't use any spells and merely kicked Lu Wen Ran. The moment Wang Lin raised his right foot, the illusion of the heavenly bull's horn appeared. With a thunderous bang, Lu Wen Ran let out a miserable scream and his body collapsed into a blood mist. His origin soul quickly escaped. He was no longer crazy, his thoughts were replaced with fear. At this moment, he no longer felt jealous or madness. It was as if he had fully recovered from the madness and screamed as he retreated in fear. I'm an elder of the Great Soul Sect, you can't kill me. Wang Lin's eyes were cold as he caught up. He waved his right hand and Lu Wen Ran's origin soul exploded. He lost his lower half. I'm the disciple of esteemed Green Bull. If you kill me, teacher won't let you go. Lu Wen Ran was weak after losing half his body, and even his voice was weak. He frantically retreated with fear in his eyes. But Wang Lin took another step and closed in once more. He waved his right hand and Lu Wen Ran's body collapsed once more, leaving only a head that could dissipate at any time. My status at the Great Soul Sect is very noble, you. His head retreated as he shrieked. At this moment, he was really afraid. He didn't want to die. He was a mid-stage Void Turbulent cultivator, so it was difficult for him to die, but at this moment, he felt death descending upon him like never before. Don't kill me. Just as his words came out, Wang Lin appeared next to his head wearing the terrifying black armor. Wang Lin had a cold and indifferent expression as his hand slammed down. I won't be sending you off. A thunderous rumble echoed as the palm descended. Lu Wen Ran's origin soul's head exploded and he died. This was Wang Lin. He didn't care about the identity or background of the people he killed. If he didn't kill Lu Wen Ran today, once the effect of the armor wore off, Lu Wen Ran would not let him go. Since the situation was either Wang Lin died or Lu Wen Ran died, there was no point in Wang Lin caring about his identity. Even if the other party was the son of the Celestial Emperor, he would have still killed him. At this moment, Wang Lin clearly felt the existence of power. Every movement was filled with spells. He had never felt like this before. Essences were no longer important at this moment because he clearly felt his essences disappear and become part of his bloodline. His body could be considered a body formed by essences. His blood was the water essence and his eyes were the thunder essence. His existence was formed by essences. This feeling came from the armor on his body. At this moment, he had a feeling that he was no longer a cultivator but the fierce heavenly bull that had cultivated in the vast space for countless years. Wang Lin raised his head and coldly stared above the underground palace. Killing intent appeared in his eyes. Zhong Daozong, I'm coming. Wang Lin fused with the heavenly bull shadow behind him and charged upwards. In the surface of the extreme sky prairie, Zhong Daozong and the old man named Zhao looked at the ground with suspicion. They clearly felt a powerful aura rushing out from the depths of the earth. Although they only felt a bit of this aura, it was enough to make their hearts skip a beat. It was as if a huge heavenly bull had awakened and was letting out a roar as it charged up toward the sky. The two of them weren't the only ones who felt this. The four cold green devil messengers all had solemn expressions as they stared at the earth. The four of them had been selected among countless children by the three ancestors of the Green Devil continent. They were all extremely talented, and once they reached a certain cultivation level, they were sent to the Green Devil Scorpion Temple to become servants of the Green Devil Scorpion. Over the countless years, there were many messengers like them, but after countless rounds of eliminations and death, only 9 of them obtained the recognition of the Green Devil in the end. These 9 people were all the Green Devil messengers of the Green Devil continent. They were the inheritors of the will of the Green Devil Scorpion that was suppressed under the Green Devil continent. It was because of this that their feelings were much more clear than that of Zhong Daozong and others. They clearly knew that the aura from underground came from a heavenly bull messenger that had obtained the recognition of the heavenly bull. The earth trembled even more violently and muffled rumbles echoed. The grass collapsed and turned into green powder. The wind lifted the powder into the sky, making it cover the surrounding area like a fog. Zhong Daozong's skin crawled and he was the first to fly up into the air. Behind him was the old man named Zhao. The 4 Green Devil messengers all had serious expressions, but they didn't fly into the air. They quickly dispersed and sat down in 4 different directions. Their hands formed seals and they let out roars. As they roared, large amounts of green gas appeared behind them. The green fog rapidly churned and formed 4 green scorpions. These 4 green scorpions were extremely ferocious. After they appeared, they let out sharp howls and charged into the earth. Immediately after, the 4 of them bit the tips of their tongues and spat out blood. Their hands pressed against the earth. Then they closed their eyes and 4 strands of green gas as thick as an arm rushed out from behind them. The gas gathered in the sky to form a green mirror. Although the mirror was an illusion, it gave off a powerful devilish aura. When Zhong Daozong and the old man named Zhao saw the mirror, their eyes became filled with respect. As the green gas swept across the mirror, a continent appeared. There weren't many mountains on this continent, but there were many swamps. Even some of the mortal cities were built above swamps. It was very strange. The continent looked smaller than the Heavenly Bull continent, only have 70% of the size. However, it was covered in swamps, and the haze around the continent made it look like a dream. The world inside the mirror was the Green Devil continent. As the 4 Green Devil messengers roared, the mirror slowly sank and shrouded the ground between the 4 of them. With this position, it covered the entire extreme sky prairie to suppress it. Deep in the earth, Wang Lin had fused with the heavenly bull behind him and was rushing out. Behind him was the underground palace. He had no intention of becoming a hero. He was doing this not for the heavenly bull continent, but for the 3 conditions. However, Wang Lin understood reason. His soul armor contained the cultivation and blood of more than 1,000 cultivators back in the underground palace. He could not leave by himself. At the very least, he had to ensure their safety before leaving. Now he was going to rush out from the earth to kill 3 mid-stage void turbulent old monsters and complete the second task old ancestor Green Bull had given him. As he charged forward, Wang Lin's face was covered by the black armor, revealing only his cold eyes and his snow-white hair. He was very fast, and he was only a few thousand feet away from the surface in a flash. But just at this moment, Wang Lin's eyes narrowed. He clearly felt 4 very familiar yet disgusting auras appear and charge toward him. He vaguely saw 4 green scorpions fiercely charging at him. Wang Lin felt a sense of disgust and hatred from his heart toward those 4 green scorpions. He knew that this was not from himself but from the soul of the heavenly bull. It was obvious that countless years before the heavenly bull and the scorpion were suppressed by the celestial ancestor, they knew each other. Or rather, they were old enemies. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he suddenly stopped. The heavenly bull shadow condensed in his body and disappeared without a trace. Only Wang Lin remained here. There was no hesitation as Wang Lin raised his foot. He no longer charged upward but instead went toward the west. With one step, Wang Lin moved like a bolt of thunder and disappeared. When he reappeared, there was green gas before him, and a fierce green scorpion charged at him. Before the scorpion got close, it swung its tail. The tail lashed toward Wang Lin like a whip. Wang Lin revealed a cold gaze and completely ignored the scorpion tail lashing at him. He raised his arms and grabbed the earth before him. Heaven ripping. His early-stage void turbulent cultivation had fused with his ancient Dao power to form a spell that was no longer an ancient Dao spell. As Wang Lin's hand suddenly ripped the earth and a giant rift appeared before him. It extended toward the incoming scorpion. A thunderous rumble rang out. The rift instantly extended to an immeasurable size and collided with the tail of the scorpion. The tail trembled and instantly collapsed. At the same time, the huge rift swept through the green scorpion's body, heading toward the surface. The extreme sky prairie trembled. On the west side, the earth suddenly burst open, revealing a huge crack more than 100,000 feet wide. The earth trembled. The moment the crack appeared, a burst of green gas appeared. There was a miserable scream as it dissipated. One of the 4 green devil messengers turned pale and coughed out blood. One heaven ripping had killed a green scorpion soul. Wang Lin looked at the scorpion and then turned around to see 3 masses of green gas charging at him. They revealed themselves to be 3 of the same scorpion, and they ferociously charged at him. I wonder, with my current cultivation level, if I used the 7-colored lance, would it have the power of several suns like when Peak the 7-colored celestial sovereign used it? Wang Lin looked at the 3 incoming scorpions with battle intent. He stepped forward. The moment his step landed, the earth trembled as if it was unable to withstand his step. His right hand moved quickly and he used the 7-colored lance. His speed wasn't much faster than before he put on the armor, but he was several times faster than ordinary cultivators. With a wave of his hand, 7-colored light filled the world and soon a 7-colored lance appeared. The lance gave off a destructive aura. It was very unstable, as if it could collapse at any moment. The 7-colored light on the lance rapidly changed and condensed into a kind of black. Before, there was no black among red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and purple. However, at this moment, the 7-colored lance was extremely black and was filled with monstrous killing intent. This was the real 7-colored lance. Only once one had reached a certain cultivation level could the 7-colored lance reach its first transformation. Wang Lin raised his hand and grabbed the 7-colored lance's first transformation. The moment he grabbed the lance, it trembled and the black light changed again into white. This was the 7-colored lance's second transformation. Wang Lin's eyes were filled with killing intent as he held the lance and threw it forward. Thunderous rumbles echoed as the 7-colored lace's second transformation flew toward one of the 3 scorpions. As the white lance flew forward, the color on it changed once more from white to gray. This was the 7-colored lance's third transformation. This was the strongest transformation the 7-colored celestial sovereign could use. The 7-colored lance's third transformation turned gray and closed in on a scorpion. The scorpion let out a howl and spat out a large amount of green gas that collided with the lance. Thunderous rumbles echoed deep underground. The earth continued to tremble and an explosion shot upwards from underground. This caused a large area of the extreme sky prairie to collapse due to the impact, and large amounts of dirt and grass flew into the sky. Unfortunately, the soul armor only increases my cultivation level. It doesn't increase my cultivation level based off my body but based off the aura of the heavenly bull. If I were at the early stage of void turbulent, I would have 9 essences completed. And if I had 9 essence true bodies, 9 lances would appear. I'm confident in destroying all 3 scorpions at once. Wang Lin secretly shook his head. This soul armor was, after all, an external object. Although powerful, it wasn't his own. There are still 2 scorpions left. I can test my other spells to see if there is a need to continue mastering them. Wang Lin made up his mind and suddenly turned around. The 2 green scorpions before him looked gloomy with a hint of fear. They no longer charged at him but rapidly retreated toward the surface. Wang Lin's strength was beyond the expectation of the 4 green devil messengers. They didn't expect Wang Lin to become so strong after obtaining the recognition of the heavenly bull. This was enough power to instantly erase mid-stage void turbulent cultivators and was infinitely close to a late-stage void turbulent cultivator. This is worthy of the immortal astral continent. If I had this in the cave world, then neither the 7-colored Daoist nor old Ghost Zhong would have been my match. Wang Lin felt emotional. The immortal astral continent must have a way to awaken Wan. Wang Lin revealed a determined gaze as he looked at the 2 scorpions rapidly retreating. He revealed a cold smile and chased after them. The 2 scorpions fled very fast, but Wang Lin was even faster. With one step, the earth trembled and he instantly closed in. He raised his right hand and his eyes revealed a strange light. War Spirit Print. As his words echoed, Wang Lin pointed forward. With this, the sky above the extreme sky prairie immediately changed. All the clouds scattered and even the light dissipated. A huge palm print large enough to cover the entire extreme sky prairie appeared. After the palm print appeared, it rapidly descended on the earth. It covered up the sun and replaced the sky. It was as if a giant had opened his palm and pressed down on the earth. After it had descended halfway, the top of the palm still could not be seen. This palm was simply amazing. But, strangely, this ordinary-looking palm with clear fingerprints began to shed its skin. It was as if there was a layer of seals wrapped around it, and now it had reached a critical point where the seals could no longer contain it. After the seals collapsed, the palm print that appeared in the sky was similar in size as before, but its appearance was very different. This palm no longer had 5 fingers, but 6 fingers. The 6th finger was red and had long, shocking nails. It was completely different from the other 5 fingers. The remaining 5 fingers and the palm were black, forming a stark contrast with the bright red finger. This palm print seemed to be a fusion of Tao and devil. The 6th finger seemed like the finger of a devil. On the extreme sky prairie, fear appeared on the faces of the remaining 1,000 green devil continent cultivators. As they stared at the sky, their bodies trembled and despair appeared in their hearts. There were also the 2 female early-stage void turbulent cultivators. Their hearts trembled when they saw the palm print and they took out their strongest defensive treasures and spells without hesitation. At this moment, they didn't have time to pay attention to others. The only thought in their minds was to save themselves from this terrifying palm. Zhong Daozong was dumbfounded. He stared at the giant palm with disbelief in his eyes. Devil Dao Grand Handprint. This is the Devil Dao Grand Handprint. It is a 6-finger Devil Dao Grand Handprint. This is the most powerful spell of my Devil Dao sect, a secret not passed on to others. Only the sect master of each generation can learn this spell. Other people of the sect can't even learn it, much less people outside the sect. This Wang Lin. How could he know this spell? There was also the old man named Zhao, who was also filled with shock. Without hesitation he waved his sleeve and his body was shrouded in a blur. His hands rapidly formed seals to cast protection spells. Everything happened in an instant. After the palm transformed, it suddenly fell down on the extreme sky prairie. The more than 1,000 green devil continent cultivators could not resist at all and were the first to die. Their origin souls were completely destroyed. One palm had killed more than 1,000 people. This kind of terrifying power even stunned Wang Lin. This was not the end. The 2 female early-stage void turbulent cultivators had used all their spells and treasures before the palm fell. They coughed out blood and looked weakened. Although they weren't dead, they were seriously injured. All their organs had exploded and they were holding on by one breath. However, this didn't last long. Their bodies exploded, leaving only their origin souls. Zhong Daozong and the old man named Zhao also coughed out blood, and their faces instantly turned palm. Below them, the 4 green devil messengers trembled and blood flowed out from the corners of their mouths. However, because of the green mirror above them, their injuries weren't heavy. However, the 2 green scorpions in the earth below them could not bear it. When the palm print landed on the earth, a powerful vibration transferred through the ground. The 2 scorpions let out roars and exploded before Wang Lin. This is the real war spirit print. Wang Lin's eyes shined brightly and he charged for the surface. He was very fast and instantly closed in on the surface, causing the surface of the extreme sky prairie to tremble. Seeing that Wang Lin was about to rush out, fear appeared on the cold faces of the 4 green devil messengers. "We can't let him come out." The 4 of them almost roared at the same time. As green devil messengers, their hearts were in sync, and at this moment, all 4 of them were filled with fear. As they roared, they put their hands on the ground and their foreheads touched the ground. This action was like worshipping. However, it was this worship that caused the green mirror to let out a sharp howl and land on the ground. The mirror expanded infinitely and shrouded the entire extreme sky prairie. "We summon the green devil scorpion soul to suppress this person." The 4 of them spoke at the same time. The voices fused into one that echoed across the earth. The extreme sky prairie suddenly changed and the prairie disappeared. The earth turned into an endless swamp and even all the mountains around the prairie disappeared. Everything here became the world of the green devil continent. Whether it was an illusion or real, it could be said that the extreme sky prairie had disappeared from the heavenly bull continent. Rather, it hadn't disappeared but had been shrouded by a projection of the entire green devil continent. This projection was used as a suppression. There was also Zhong Daozong, old man named Zhao, and the 2 female cultivators' origin souls. They had barely survived the war spirit print and now they were all desperately descending. They used their full cultivation to help the green devil messengers with the suppression. They understood that if they were unable to suppress Wang Lin, who had obtained the recognition of the heavenly bull, they would meet a terrifying fate. The heavenly bull messengers are different from us. They can obtain peak power, but only temporarily. Although I don't know for how long, it can't be for too long. As long as we suppress him, we can kill him once the time is up, one of the green devil messengers roared. As he roared, Zhong Daozong and company seemed to be filled with limitless power and expectation. They spread out their cultivation to help the suppression. The earth trembled and thunderous rumbles echoed. Every echo caused everyone's faces to turn slightly more pale. Wang Lin continued to bombard from below. He was going to break the projection and charge out. Realm-burning umbrella. Wang Lin's hands formed seals and countless restrictions appeared. A giant, fire umbrella appeared in the sky above the green devil continent projection. The umbrella opened for a moment and a monstrous fire descended, burning the projection and the world. The moment the sea of fire appeared, the 2 early-stage void turbulent female cultivators' origin souls cried out, but they gritted their teeth and sacrificed their life treasures. They joined forces to resist the fire. The realm-burning umbrella didn't have a transformation like the 7-colored lance and the war spirit print. It was still the same, only a lot stronger. But it was still a bit worse than the 7-colored lance and the war spirit print. This spell seems very powerful, but in truth, even the madman only scratched its surface. Even with my current cultivation level, I can't display its true strength. Or rather, the spell is not as powerful as I thought, and this is the limit, Wang Lin thought to himself. Then I want to try my own spells next. Wang Lin's eyes revealed a strange light as he looked up. He raised his right hand and suddenly waved. The land before him suddenly became blurry and was replaced by the raging sea. This appeared in the eyes of the green devil messengers as well. The sea spread out like crazy and the umbrella in the sky dissipated, replaced by darkness. The darkness released endless chill, and cold wind swept by, shrouding Zhong Daozong and company. To the east, there was a fine, golden light, and a rising sun began to slowly appear. It also contained an extremely powerful law of origin. This power could tear apart all darkness and cause all night in the world to collapse. When Wang Ling created this spell, he didn't really understand it, and it was by accident. It wasn't until this moment that he saw the amazing scene inside the sun. This scene startled him. This video will end here.